thank you for joining me on this, my second ASMR video. I'm doing it this time in a whispered tone, and I'm just going to show you a few clips and talk you through a recent trip I made to the stunning island of Gran Canaria in the Canary Islands. We're starting off with the beach at Amadores, which is a small resort just quite close to Puerto Rico in the south of the island. A really beautiful place. Probably has one of the best beaches on the entire island, and then we move slightly up the coast to the stunning place which is called Porta de Morgan. As you can imagine, this is a port. Also has quite a nice beach, but it has these really tight-knit sort of traditional Spanish streets that have shops and restaurants and other bits and pieces, but have quite a lot of really good-looking what's the word? Flowers and foliage, because the people who live in these houses and run these businesses really do take quite good care of it. Now, on the day that we went to Porta Morgan, it was quite overcast. As you can see, it was probably the only day in the week that we spent in Gran Canaria where the sun wasn't blazing, but because it's Canary Islands, quite close to the coast of West Africa, it's still, even on days when it's overcast, it's still very humid, warm, etc. Although, as we went through the day, as you can see a little bit here, it did start to brighten up a little bit. And here's a few more of those tight-knit streets and those traditional Spanish houses. You may actually recognise this if you've ever seen an advert for Jet2, the holiday company, because in one of their old adverts there used to be some streets where it showed like a couple frolicking, and that, to my knowledge anyway, was in Porta Morgan. Here's more of the port and the flowers. Interestingly, well, I mentioned Jet2 as well, because quite a few people on this channel will be here from the old sort of fragrance review days now. Chris Fragmental, one of the sort of bigger fragrance reviewers on YouTube, he's actually the voice of Jet2. You hear him on the aeroplane doing like the recorded overviews, etc. Anyway, but pointless information for you there. So yeah, come back to Porta Morgan, and I found these sort of very nice carvings down one of the streets, as you can see. But yeah, a really nice little town. Quite a lot of tight-knit streets that you can wander down and explore. And here then we move on to the boat that we caught that left Porta Morgan. It sails down the side of the island to Puerto Rico, which is one of the larger resorts in the south of the island. And this is taken from the new Porta Morgan. Not Porta Morgan, it's called Morgan Mall, because the whole area is called Morgan. But this itself is in Puerto Rico. It's a new mall. I think it opened around 2019. And it's a stark contrast from the old shopping centre that's a little bit further down the street. It's a bit more dated, run down. This one is, as you can see, a little bit more upmarket. You know, quite a very sort of modern, as you well, it speaks for itself, modern shopping centre, whereas the other one, if you know it, and it's featured on my old travel videos, is more sort of, you know, your traditional, what we call tat shops, whereas this is much cleaner, much more commercial, dare we say. And then we come on to Palmitas Park, which is the main zoo on the island. It's situated in the middle of the island, so one of the things about going there is the heat, because you don't get the breeze coming off the ocean like you do on the coast. So the day that we went to Palmitas Park to see the animals, it was absolutely sweltering, and I made the mistake of wearing a knitted polo, which wasn't a good idea when the heat was about 30 odd degrees. But yeah, a lot of animals to see there, a lot of shows on. As you can see, we've got a cheeky monkey here, having a quick snack while he swings about. Here's one of these stork birds that are quite hideous, but you know, prehistoric. This bird here, though, very colourful, much better looking. In some of these clips as well, I used the cinematic mode, so the focus was quite difficult to do, but hopefully not too blurry for you. You can see a good shot of these birds, and the other animals we'll come on to at this large lasses there having their lunch. And let's see what else we've got coming up. Oh yeah, black swan, you don't see many of those. Again, just swimming about minding his or her business. This was the orchid house, which I filmed from the outside, but admittedly I didn't go into. And there's a crocodile. Bit of a weird story with this. When I was filming this, a woman came up the side of me and said, "Is that real?" She thought because it wasn't moving, it must have been made out of plastic or something. American Eagle. There was a show that we saw that involved this, where it flew around and swooped about over the top of the crowd. Actually, we might get a little bit of it here, but this is some of the view you can see from the zoo. As you can tell, it's sort of in a valley in the middle of the island. There's one of those prehistoric storks. It looks like it's had its head set on fire, but that's the way they look. Then we've got a snowy owl, absolutely beautiful creature. Obviously it's a apex predator or whatever it is, so if you're a small animal it's probably your worst nightmare, but definitely an animal that's nice to look at if you're of our size. If you can hear me swallowing as well, I do apologise. And then this is part of the dolphin show. It's quite a long show, very entertaining. They do all sorts of tricks, you know, with like the instructors lifting, throwing him in the air, jumping through hoops, etc. I only filmed a little bit of the show from the beginning, just for the purpose of this video, really. But yeah, it's a definitely good show. And then we move into the sort of aquatics house, or the fish house. I can't think of the right term, but it was definitely nice to go in that building because, well, it was absolutely scorching hot outside. It was very, very cool where the fishes were, so dark and cool. Goldfish, not particularly exotic animals by any stretch of the imagination, but these ones here were absolutely huge in comparison to the ones you get in the UK, the ones you win from the fair, etc. Another primate here, having fun on their ropes. A few sort of monkeys and such things in this zoo for you to look at. And then we go on to an ostrich. And I don't think there's much we can say about ostriches, it speaks for itself. Not quite sure what we're looking at here, but oh, yeah, we've got, there should be chipmunks, and it is, not chipmunks, sorry, the meerkats. And then we're back out of the zoo, and we're up to the capital city of Gran Canaria, the largest city in the whole of the Canary Islands, which is Las Palmas. I believe it's the 7th largest city in the whole of Spain, even though it's not really in Spain because it's on an island off the coast of Africa. But it's got these old, traditional sort of Spanish buildings, quite a lot of old architecture, which we'll come on to as well. Particularly in this square here, which is the square where the main cathedral is in Las Palmas, which is this building here. You can actually go into the building and go up to the tower, where I believe the views are quite stunning over the whole city, but we didn't get a chance to do that on the day we're here. But as you can see, quite an old building, built back in 1915, so more than 100 years old. Here's more of that square, really is quite a beautiful setting. And then we'll move to some of the small traditional streets around it, and then we wrap things off with a look at this hotel, which is just around the corner. Anyway, that's enough of me waffling on for now. I hope this video has been relaxing.